Hello, welcome to the stream today. My name is Milo and I'm playing the Famicom quote-unquote classic, Layla. Now I know this game, hello Gibbon, welcome. I know this game because Arino Kachel played it on Game Center CX, so I'm familiar with the basic setup and everything. Hey, Cody's here, how's it going? Good to see you. So yeah, DB Soft is a small company that made this game. They really aren't known for much else. They did a few things in the 80s. During the 90s they transitioned into more of a... They went out of games and into more of a technology and software company. And then in the 2000s they were acquired by another company and they kind of went away. So this is really the only notable thing, maybe, that they made, at least that I recognized out of their list. I guess I didn't look at them too closely. But anyway, this is Layla. It's a, yeah, as you can see, side-scrolling action game with a space theme and a heroine protagonist. Now, you saw on the title screen there were two women standing there. The one I'm playing as is Layla, the other one is named Iris. So they're a team of sort of space mercenaries. And Iris has been kidnapped by the bad guy du jour. I don't remember his name, but I don't think we'll actually get up to him either today because this is I'll be playing something else a bit later. But yeah. Oh, something's wrong. Cody says he can only see the title screen, but he can hear the sound. Why is that? How about now? I minimize the OBS window because that's what I usually do. I didn't think that would... Gibbon says he can see it. I don't know, try refreshing, Cody. Hopefully that works for you. But yeah, this game is... Yeah, Cody actually brings up the full ROM hack, so yeah, I will be playing that later as soon as I get sick of this. Yeah, please refresh, hopefully that fixes the issue. Yeah, so there's a ROM hack that was made in pretty recent times called the Iris missions, where they take the basic game foundation and try and tweak the engine so that it plays better, and they add new content, new levels and stuff. Now let's see, I have different weapons and I want to be able to break the barrels beneath me. Okay, that worked. Cody's back and he can see stuff now, that's good. So yeah, there's ammunition that you have to pick up around the levels to fill up all your sub-weapons, which you cycle through. Man, there's a lot of them. Okay, so there's an Uzi, there's a grenade, there's, what's that, like a flamethrower or something? An axe with an arc, hopefully that's more powerful. Rocket launcher, and a throwing dart? Okay. I believe this one should be unlimited ammo. Yeah, looks like it. Yes, so I do know about the ROM hack and I'll be playing it later as soon as I get sick of this. Or if I find I can't progress any further or something. Because... yeah, apparently the game's pretty difficult, which is, you know, one of the reasons why they felt the need to make this ROM hack. I remember Arino had a lot of trouble with it too, but that's part of the show, you know. It's a pretty fun episode. I recommend that one. And I used to watch so much of that show. I haven't watched any of it in ages, actually. Oh, how do I get up there? Aha. Don't know how I did that, but okay. So yeah, apparently it seems like a pretty straightforward action game at the moment, but I mean, you can see a floor label on the wall over there. As you go on, the levels get more sort of labyrinthine and difficult to navigate, so that's going to be an issue. And part of why that's an issue is that you can't scroll the screen back to the left. It's a Super Mario Brothers situation. Yes, so stuff. It's pretty cool. Okay. So I think this is our first boss. Let's try out a different weapon. Oh boy. Okay. Hi Cuban, how's it going? Excellent. The grenade worked wonders. I haven't recovered any life, and I'm sorry about the screen flashing. That's really distracting. Yes, Cuban says somewhere between Super Mario Brothers 1 and Mega Man, would you say? Possibly. It's a completely linear game, so yeah, that works kind of. I mean, like I said, the levels do get kind of maze-ish later on, so it's not. Mega Man is always pretty much linear except for branching paths, but yeah, for a shorthand, let's say it's a cross between Super Mario Brothers and Mega Man. Some kind of side-scroller where you shoot things, kind of like Metroid, I guess. But yeah, comparisons aren't always the best way of describing things. Yeah, in this bonus stage I can't get hurt. You just shoot enemies for points. This is actually a criticism of the game, is that these levels are pretty pointless. The ROM hack that Cody mentioned cuts them out entirely. But hey, we get to ride a space bike, which is pretty cool. We did see it briefly in the intro. Yeah. Okay, so the one thing, I get a lot of information from Hardcore Gaming 101, by the way. So their article on this is pretty upfront with making a comparison between the premise and the story here and the anime series Dirty Pair. So I will accept that. Yep. To repeat what they say in their article, the game is potentially inspired by the anime Dirty Pair. I don't know for sure, but let's just say that aesthetically there's a lot of similarities. The two main characters, Iris and Layla, look quite similar to the protagonists of Dirty Pair, Kei and Yuki. They're like space mercenaries. Yep. Duo of women. One is like the tomboy looking one with short hair, and one is a more feminine one with longer hair. I see some of these have restored my health. That's good to know. I mean, you don't really find out much about their personalities in the game. Maybe there's more in the instruction book, but this game was only released in Japan, by the way. I didn't mention that. Yeah, Famicom only. Oh, Cuban says he's been meaning to watch Dirty Pair. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I only know what I've read online about it. But the similarities seem to be there, at least to me. So I'm happy to accept that. And it gives me an in to talk about Pride Month. Since I'm trying to do theme streams sometimes when I can. Hey, Zach's here. Hello. Got a crowded little chat today. That's good. Thanks for showing up, everyone. This is the Famicom game Layla, and I'm playing as Layla. Similarities between this and Dirty Pair, the anime. So I'm repeating a section that I had to do earlier because I fell down a pit and it just put me at an earlier stage. So that's the punishment there. I didn't lose a life. I don't even know if there are lives or continues in this game. Have you seen Dirty Pair, Zach? I was hoping someone would show up who had a bit more knowledge about it than me, but that's okay. The important stuff is that the setup and the character designs are pretty similar. So DB Soft is just taking inspiration from a popular anime of the time. Oh yeah, I should mention. So Dirty Pair was a 20, I think it was 25 episode anime that. Oh man. Okay, just start from the start of this room. That's fine. Despite its relative short length, it's pretty well recognized and well remembered. It's based on a light novel series from 1980 that started in 1980. They did later series, later OVAs and movies and stuff, and there was a reboot of it as well. But I guess the important thing for the time of this game is that the original anime from... Oh, robot. Nice. Cool design. Ah! Very dangerous. Yeah, since this game came out in 1986, late 1986, and the anime was early 1985. That's probably the reference point. Zach says he thought he watched an episode, but he was actually thinking of Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, and assuming that it's actually quite different to that. Yeah, probably pretty different. I don't know, maybe for the time. I don't know. I saw a couple episodes of Panty and Stocking. I had a friend who really liked it. I thought it was a bit, I don't know. I wasn't into it, but that's okay. Alright, so you always, at the end of a stage, you get this key thing or whatever. I think there's 5 of them in total. Not sure. There might be more. But then you go through another section until you get to a boss. Oh. Should be using more other weapons. It'll make it a bit easier, I think. And yeah, the catching bouncing cakes and ice creams is kind of part of this game's sense of personality, which is nice. Although it does unfortunately buy into that stereotype of women and just them eating sweets. That's like the thing, which is by no means unique to this game. Okay, let's try the axe maybe. It doesn't quite get high enough, does it? Maybe the... oh, I've got something new. Let's try it out. Oh, okay. It's like a shield. Nice graphical effect, actually. But that's gone now. That's probably a screen-clearing bomb or something. Let's try grenades. Yeah, there was a bit of an arc on those. That's pretty good. And they worked well against the last boss, so... Excellent. Hi Puffy Amiyumi. Yeah, the animation style, is pretty similar between that and Penny and Stocking. You're right. It's kind of a thing that was going around at the time, I guess. Okay, that's stage 2. I thought I would probably switch over to the Iris missions pretty quickly, but this isn't going so badly so far. I guess I'll wait till I hit a difficulty wall and then I'll switch over. I had another backup game in case things were short. I actually talked about this last week because I played Valkyrie as a backup to a big plan I had. I was going to do this because it was going to be sort of inspired by anime triple feature. It ended up being because I was going to combine it with Wonder Momo 120%, which was going to be a Urusei Yatsura licensed game, but the license fell through for the arcade version. They did retain it for the NES version, the Famicom version. I might still end up playing Wonder Momo 120%. It certainly won't fill a stream, but it won't be today. The third one that I found late on was Wing of Madoola, which I might play after this if I get that far, because it's another, early Famicom game with a heroine character. And again, from Hardcore Gaming 101, there was speculation that the main character design was influenced by an anime OVA from the 80s that I guess was popular, because it also inspired other things, and the way that heroines looked in fantasy games and anime for a while, I think. This is Layla, Gunsen, what was it called? I forget. It was like the Fantastic Adventures of Yoko. Layla was the title, and then the other bit was subtitle. Anyway, so that's a thing that I might play later. We're gonna do that. But let's, just play Layla for now. That's cool. So yeah, Dirty Pair. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but since it's Pride Month, I thought that I would try and find some link in whatever games I ended up playing. Or rather that I would search for games with that criteria. Okay, what's going on here? Do I need grenades? Ugh, man. This is extremely fiddly. Ah! Oh yeah, if you hang around for too long, a tornado appears out of nowhere and kills you. Isn't that just fantastic? Alright, where do I start from? It gave me a password. Okay, so I do start from Asteroid 3, which is where I was. But I assume I've lost all my ammo? I think I have, yeah. Damn. Oh well. I'll give it another go. So, let's see. I kind of wondered if the setup of Dirty Pair, with it being these two women in a team, if that had influenced the anime being seen as kind of a... I don't know, there aren't any, like, explicit, like, queer overtones, I don't think, in the, like, actual characters. But I thought that possibly it had been... I wondered if maybe it had been embraced as such by fans, given the time period it was coming out in. It seemed to be a forward-thinking show, possibly. Maybe. But I couldn't really find much evidence of that. What I did find evidence of while searching for it... okay, so Gibbon actually is reassuring me. They do seem to ham up the undertones in the promotional artwork from what he recalls. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I wondered if that was the case, because you've got a show in the 80s with two women as the leads. You know, whether it's exploitative or not. Yeah, I don't know what to do in this bit. Let's try the rocket launcher. Boom. This is irritating. Okay, so yeah, Dirty Pair. It's, yeah, it was good to have a show with two women, and likewise to have a game with them. I believe at some point in this game you rescue Iris, and then she sort of follows you around and you play as a team. That's my memory from Game Center CX, but that might actually be erroneous. I'm not sure. I really don't know what to do here. Damn. That might be the difficulty wall. Why don't we go to the ROM hack now? And I'll continue talking about Dirty Pair. Yeah, I guess I'll save that. I've only been going 20 minutes. I could have given it longer. But by all accounts, this is an improved version. Switch you over. There we go. Layla, the Iris missions. So this game has a completely new soundtrack, as well as all new levels. They reuse... Oh, I forgot. Was there... Okay, there's a crawl here. There might be one on the original game too, but let's watch this for now. Asteria, the Earth's star colony, using its genetic enhancement machine, Jill, the scientist... Jill is the machine. The scientist Chinilkov Manitoka terrorized the system with her hordes of the mutant Chimeran. Faced with this threat, the military formed a special unit, the Chimeran Attack Team CAT, to combat Manitoka. In a desperate and harrowing mission, the CAT operatives Layla and Iris succeeded in destroying Jill, but were unable to capture Manitoka. Escaping into the remote depths of the asteroid belt, he has slowly rebuilt his forces in preparation for a new assault. So this is the story of the ROM hack, which is a sequel to the original game. After months of intensive searching, a cat reconnaissance team has finally located Mantoka's hidden facilities. Layla has been dispatched to carry out a covert strike against the reconstructed Jill. You, Iris, have been separately tasked with eliminating a series of peripheral Chimeran targets and making a rendezvous with Layla for a final attack against Manitoka. There are 8 known targets in the compound. Find them and take them out any way you can. Oh, okay. Little time remains. Destroy the Chimeran and stop Manitoka. Yes. Okay, Gibbon is doing some great analysis of old school anime, which I will read in a second. Yes, that's it? Okay, good. I'll swap back over to Iris and then read Gibbon's... Sorry, back to Layla and read Gibbon's comment while I'm doing this. So we just want to see if anything happens on the title screen. And I'll switch you over because I forgot to do that. Good. Okay. What am I doing? Yep. Okay. Yeah, Gibbon says there was a tendency to edit that sort of stuff out, i.e. stuff with homoerotic undertones, etc., in translations or adaptations. He's citing the Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura anime, the latter of which went out of its way to introduce an anime-only love interest for one of the male characters so they could avoid all the homosexual subtext that was in the manga, as well as make a pair of female characters cousins to explain away closeness, like Sailor Moon also did. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The conservatism of the translators kind of setting back that... yeah, setting back representation, you could say. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any kind of scroll or attract mode here, so... swap back over and start playing the ROM hack, Layla the Iris Missions. And I didn't, unfortunately, write down who made this and when, so... but I've actually got it here, so why don't I want to give credit, and it is... a person called SuperTales66, released in 2017, so very recent. I'm on the cutting edge, people. Oh yeah, Zach, I did read your comment, and actually that is on the list. Zach has mentioned that if you're looking for a game based on something that people infer lesbian undertones from, check out the Xena game on 64. Certainly, that's a great suggestion. Xena definitely had that going on. Probably, possibly intended, but also definitely read into the lesbian undertones, like I said, between Xena and her friend, what's her face, that I forget the name of. If I was on the cutting edge, I'd be playing Fortnite on Switch right now. Yeah, I don't even know what that game is. I'm like so out of touch. I don't care. I think it's a Battle Royale thing. Yeah, those are all the rage. Yes. So this is the Iris missions. As you can see, I've got a different sprite now. I'm playing as Iris. I think the sprite's just taken from Layla because, like I said, I think Iris is in the game later on. I didn't get that far, but let's try out some of our other weapons. Yeah, so that's a screen clearing thing, like I thought. And I've only got the 2 weapons. Haven't picked up any extras. A battle royale with crafting and building elements. Okay, fine. Zach says he tried it and couldn't get into it. Yeah. Oh, I see. So if you're stuck down there, you can warp up there. Ouch. Shouldn't have run right into that. Oh, my health actually increased there. Is that a feature of this game, or are there point thresholds? Come back, cake. I wasn't watching the health bar. Yeah, so the lesbian undertones in Dirty Pair. I don't know if they're there. Like I said, I haven't seen the show. When I did searches for it, what did come up was an example of it being very progressive in trans representation and ideas. Oh, what? Hang on. Now Zach's saying he can only see the title screen. Did I not switch that back over? I didn't. Man, I'm an idiot. All right, here we go. This is the Iris missions. Like I said, I've only got what I picked up earlier, this bomb thing, and the main gun. I assume I'll get other weapons later maybe, or maybe they've cut it back to just this. Let's find out. So hopefully that's working for you now. Yes, health please. Okay, just getting more bombs. That's okay. I feel like this feels a little smoother to play. The weight traps, that's fun. Okay, so it's a Super Mario, it's a Doki Doki Panic super jump. You gotta duck and then jump. You don't have to charge it up though. Yes, so let's see. What was I talking about? Yeah, that's a cool way to do it. I have a friend who used to watch like that. Watching the stream on one device and then using the chat on another device. I mean, that's how I'm actually doing the stream as well. Although no, I've started using the dashboard view of the Twitch website and just having my game window off to the side as long as it's the right size to support that. I lost those foods. Yeah, you're on the cutting edge. Aha! I got a new weapon. So what now? This room's a dead end. Do I go down again? I do. That's a good point, actually. Given says, the crouching to jump higher thing is an interesting game trope. It's still sort of around in the form of the backflip that you have to crouch to do in 3D platformers that I modeled after Mario 64. So yeah, like Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo. Certainly have that. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? Didn't think of it like that, but you're right. So you don't have my arcing grenades now, so this guy's attack pattern is a little trickier to deal with. Nah, nuts. Okay, that's another improvement. The whole screen doesn't flash when I'm on low health, just the upper UI bar. I appreciate that. Okay, so it's like the third bounce down? No. And then he kind of does it for a while, I don't know. So this is one of the mutants created by the mutation machine Jill, apparently, I guess. Otherwise, a lot of the enemies are robots. I guess there were some weirdo mutant ones too. Oh yeah, you're right actually. Rivali's Gale in Breath of the Wild kind of works like that too. I mean, it's not exactly... because do crouch? You sort of hold down the jump button after jumping. Anyway, he definitely does crouch, so yeah. Cool. Right, so I was talking about Dirty Pair and the connection to Pride Month. So, in episode 7 of Dirty Pair, I didn't write down the name of it. There's a case where the two heroines are hired to do this job. The plot machinations. Yeah, there's a man and his adult son, and his son has eloped with a woman, and I think it was the father like hired them to track him down or something. But yeah, they find out that the reason that the father didn't want his son to elope with this woman is because she's a trans woman and he was not accepting of their relationship. And so Kei and Yuki, who then turn around and say, well, like, there's nothing wrong with that, so we're not going to like do anything about this. And he's like, no, this is all wrong. And the son's there like defending his decision, saying she's a woman now, so like, I don't know what your problem is. And yeah, Kei and Yuki come in and defend them as well. And what they say is like, why is this a problem for you? At this point, 1 in 10 people have had their sex changed, which is an interesting like idea of the future. Presumably when sex changes become easier to do through technology and such, yeah, they might be more commonplace. I mean, by which I'm saying I don't think 10% of people in the current world are trans in that way, but yeah, it was a nice little progressive thing. Like, this is set in the future, like the attitudes of the characters have evolved. and this is something that was, you know, made in 1985, so it was a supportive message for trans people and trans representation, so that was nice, I thought. And there's your Pride Month link for this week's game. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, presumably this gun is more powerful. Ooh, it's got a rapid fire. That's nice. Might as well just be using it all the time. By the way, I really dig the chiptunes in this ROM hack. Like I said, it's got a whole new soundtrack compared to the original game. Super Tales 66 or whatever the person's name was. Yeah, it did a completely new soundtrack. What's this about? Nuts. There's probably some secret to that dead end that I was missing in the original Layla. I have a feeling that Arino probably got stuck there too. I keep forgetting how to do the super jump. Okay. Ow! Not so. Stop it. Ah, this is... yeah. Hello. Yes. So I'm out of those bombs. I just have to avoid that stupid thing, whatever it is. Some strange energy weapon. Ah, of course. I had to press up on that little area and I'll be warped up. Yes, the health, please. Cool stuff. This game's great. Well, it's good. Given contributing. It reminds him of one of his favorite sets of Doctor Who audios. He's a big fan of the Big Finish audio programs for Doctor Who and other properties, including original works. Check them out at bigfinish.com. Yeah, no sponsorships here. I'll just recommend them anyway. So these audios Gibbon's talking about feature the first Doctor companion, Oliver Harper, a stockbroker from the 1960s who's on the run from the law for the horrific crime of being gay. Yeah, that was the thing at the time. Like, men could be put in prison for gross indecency. I actually listened to an interesting podcast about it on the weekend, and it's a word podcast about the evolution of language and use of words. and it was about the word queer and how its use has changed over time from being a slur to being something that people have embraced or reclaimed, you could say. Come on, really? Alright. Yeah, so, yes, being gay was a, like, jailable offense at the time. So anyway, yes, so Gibbon goes on to say, there's a rather bittersweet scene where he confesses this to Stephen, who is one of the Doctor's companions from the far future. And Stephen is sort of like, oh, is that it? That's not really a thing anyone cares about in my time. So yeah, that's interesting, because obviously at the time Stephen was, oh wait, Stephen is from, I don't remember, but anyway, yeah, there's a difference between the show being written in the 60s and now, obviously, but yeah, that's a cool way to go about it. I think I've heard you tell that before, so yeah, I'm interested in that kind of thing. Yeah, we finally had the first openly gay Doctor Who companion in the last series with Bill. I think people like to have their fan fiction kind of things about Tegan and Nyssa in the 5th Doctor era. You can leave a mission by pushing A, B, start and select together. Thank you, little robot. Stephen is a space pilot from the Dalek Wars period. Cool stuff. That's the wait, hang on, I got this. Dalek invasion Earth, 25th century, I think. Yeah, that was one of the storylines that was adapted to movie form with Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, the possibly human man. Yeah, they changed a few things. Yeah, Gibbon says they try to make the audios as if they were made during the era they're from. So this set deals with contemporary issues of how homosexuals were treated. That's really interesting. Uh-oh. I need to break that block. What else can I do? Oh, okay. I've got more options here. Yes, it's worth remembering the past so that we don't repeat it, of course. Oh, here we go. Gibbon's on a roll now. There's another good one featuring a black Jamaican couple that has immigrated to the UK in the 1950s. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happened. Stephen and Sarah Kingdom, who's also from the future, are just completely oblivious as to why people are giving this kind couple a hard time. Yeah. That reminds me of, you know, stuff that happened in the show. There's a notable difference in the way that kind of situation is handled between RTD and Moffat, Russell T Davies and Moffat. Oh wait, is it Davies or Davis? I think it's Davies. Yeah, there's a Martha episode where the Shakespeare Code where they go back in time and Martha's kind of like she's hesitant about sort of walking around with confidence in the past since she's black, and the Doctor says, oh yeah, just do what I do, strut around like you own the place, which people have sort of identified as kind of an insensitive way to address the issue, at least from Martha's perspective, whereas by comparison 12th Doctor in what's that one? Under the Thames, the one with the big sea monster. Bill kind of raises the same issue because she's also black, and yeah, Capaldi treats it much more sensitively, I think. Something along the lines of like, I understand that this is an issue, but it might, they kind of point out that it might not be as bad as you think. Is that what they say? No, don't. Hang on, forget I said that. they do address it better in that episode. I just don't remember exactly how they do it. Yeah, that was a weird one. Human Nature, great episode. Family Blood, great couple of episodes, that one. But yeah, Gibbon says Martha ends up being treated as a servant that even the kind white female lead just sort of ignores. Yeah, that was an issue. Can't even tell if this is actually doing damage. Nothing. All the weapons are having the same effect, so let's stick with one that I think might be more powerful. Thin Ice, yep, that was the one. That's the 12th Doctor episode. That was also a weird one because it came right after the one where the nanobots were killing everyone, and Bill has this huge reaction to seeing people die in Thin Ice when the previous episode was just like people being murdered left and right all along, and her not reacting in that way. That's just kind of what happens when you have different writers doing episodes. Supposedly, Chibnall is going to be instituting a writer's room situation, so there might be more consistency between characterization between episodes in the future. We'll see. Looking forward to Jodie Whittaker, for sure. She's got a quite diverse lineup of companions. There's 2 guys and a woman on her team, and they're all different ethnicities. So, you know, it's cool. Don't know much about them other than the set picture that I saw. Not a set picture, the promo picture, whatever. Did you find the axe in Mission 2? Take the high route. And I've been given a new weapon. Nice, I'll be using that. Okay, high route, let's find it. So the guy said I might need an axe. Let's try it out. Yeah, been avoiding spoilers, me too. Cool. So the axe wasn't necessary for that, but oops! Now I gotta get back up. Or I could cheat. Oops, I could cheat if my controllers were working. Hang on, did I do the thing again? Yes, I did. Damn. What an irritating turn of events. I hate when that happens. I didn't mean to activate the screen expansion thing. Okay. Oops. Now I can cheat with impunity. Okay, cheating over. Yes. So we're talking about Doctor Who. Why haven't there been any Doctor Who games? Good ones, I mean. Played this one on DS. Evacuation Earth. It was like a Professor Layton clone. but the puzzles were not difficult. Yeah, Gibbon says he was about to say the Doctor Who adventure games are pretty decent, he said. Yeah, they were free, released on the BBC website or something, is that right? For PC. I know there was some adventure type game on the Wii as well. The DS one was sort of an accompaniment to it. And I enjoyed the story, and the art was okay. Oh, took some damage there. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, I wonder if I can do a super jump. Running super jump. Possibly not. I'll test it out here. Yeah, ducking removes all your momentum. Zach says he heard the Wii game was pretty bad overall. Yeah, probably. So, okay, so that killed me. So I'll go back to here and continue as I was. Or not. Yeah, Given also says that, let's see, Doctor Who Legacy is pretty fun, even if it's just a puzzle in Dragon's Claim. Yeah, I tried that one out, and I really don't get on with the gameplay, which was a big problem for me. That whole, like, what you call it, like a freely swappable match 3 thing. Did I just loop around? What's going on? Yeah. That might have been a loop, I'm not sure. But I'll try it again. Yeah, and Gibbon also says that the people who made Legacy are doing a new story-driven game. That they got Michelle Gomez in to narrate as Missy. That's cool. I didn't hear about that. I'll have to look into it. Ow. I like that the axe goes through enemies. It's pretty useful. Yeah, most Doctor Who games are unfortunately kind of bad. It's kind of just the license game curse, mostly, I think. As well as maybe the BBC not having much money to go around, so they end up farming it out to cheap developers, and that ends up with a possibly inferior product. Gibbon says he had an idea to make something sort of like DuckTales or Legend of Princess, where every time you died, you'd regenerate into a new Doctor who played completely differently to the previous one. I'd play that. There was, yeah, this whole place is just looping. Oh, there's a map on the wall. Right. Okay, let's take a minute. Good grief. What am I supposed to do with this? The flashing dot is at the bottom of a shaft. But the exclamation mark... Okay, so maybe those are the 2 points of interest, and it's not showing my position. So all those horizontal lines are corridors like this, and the vertical ones must be lift shafts. So let's try going in this lift that's just back here, that I just got past. Yeah, Lego Dimensions had that thing where you could play as the Doctor. It was, the minifig was Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. But every time you died, you'd come back as another one in the series. You'd regenerate, and your appearance and voice would change. Even including the War Doctor, I think, if memory serves. I haven't played Dimensions in a while, but yeah, it's pretty good. The other good thing is that in that pack you get the TARDIS, which lets you sort of access new sub-areas in certain levels. It's pretty cool. during the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them story campaign, which is a separately purchasable thing. If you have the TARDIS as well, you can at some point go through like a space warp and end up on the Red Dwarf as of Series 11, and there's a bunch of references to Series 11, which I guess was what they'd done at that point. Even though 11 and 12 were made back to back, I guess the Dimensions content was being made in the time between the two. So yeah, I love seeing some Red Dwarf in my Lego game. That's nice. And yeah, I guess it's all a British connection, possibly. And of course the Lego games are all made by Traveller's Tales, who is a British developer. Whoopsie. Okay, good. So what's the problem here? I need to find some kind of lift that will take me where I want to go. The level design has become slightly more intricate than just run to the right now, so I'm having more trouble. Yeah. Let's see. Zach says that he's trying to think of... Oh, okay, so the exclamation mark is where I am now, I guess. That's good. Okay, so if I go left, and then down, and then left, and then up. Okay, whoops. Hang on, rewind. Let's go down. Oh, I can't go down. Oh, of course, no, I can't go down, looking at that. So I don't want to go down. I want to keep going to the right, wrap around, and go down again. Where did I save? Where am I? Yeah, I just saved here. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm here, I'm going to go to the right, wrap around, find another lift, and go down. Okay. So Zach is saying he's trying to think of good licensed games with female leads, and trust me, I've done a lot of thinking about that myself in planning this year's streams. So I'm going down here. Good. Oh boy, what's this now? Okay, so this just takes me... Okay, yeah, so... Local teleports. What do I do here? Breakable blocks. Yeah, so let's see. Offhand, I could say the Labyrinth game on NES is on my list. The Xena game, like you said. There's a PlayStation game based on a comic property called Danger Girls. Although that might be a little too exploitative, I'm not sure. Still have to decide about that one. But yeah, I've got a whole column on my spreadsheet of whether a game is a licensed game or not. And they don't have to be bad. The licensed game curse is not universally applicable. A lot of Disney games, for example, have a female protagonist. Sorry, the movies have a female protagonist, and so the accompanying game obviously also does. Like Alice in Wonderland, Mulan, Pocahontas, they're all on my list. A lot of good stuff there, and well, I don't know if it's good yet. Oh, that's a good pull, actually, Zach. The robot looks like Probotector. If I remember what Probotector is. It certainly is a familiar looking robot graphic, for sure. Let's see. Gibbon says, oh wow, he says he was almost part of the team working on a VR Doctor Who thing for the Doctor Who experience. I'm going to take that death so I get a health refill, by the way. And I'm going to switch to the machine gun. Yes. And he says, in the end they just licensed the tech for the VR and ended up getting a team in the UK to make it. Sorry about that. I think, like I said, the BBC, cost conscious, probably. That might be the factor. So yeah, food definitely restores health in this version of the game. Little Mermaid on NES, yes, that is on my list. I don't know if you were there for my previous stream. It was actually before I started the year of women games, which will continue past this year, by the way. Yeah, I did the similarly named Ariel the Little Mermaid, based on the same movie, but it's a different game on Sega platforms. It was on Mega Drive and Master System. And I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like a cheap Echo the Dolphin knockoff, but with like a bunch of item management stuff. It was cool. I liked it. But it was really short, actually. Yeah. I'm totally still in an ongoing phase of like trying to find games that are like Echo the Dolphin, just because it was really impactful to me. So these guys are cool. You blow up that enemy and then it destroys part of it, and then the other part still chases you. Let's see. Oh, Zach says I could play the bootleg Mulan game on Mega Drive. Not a bad idea. I was going to play the Game Boy one, but yeah, I'll look into it when it comes time. I might play both, who knows? Yeah, no reason to discount bootlegs. They're still valid games that we can assess and enjoy, perhaps. What else is going on? I think I'm up to date on chat. So I don't remember the map. I was getting through this part to a point where I could go up, right? Oh good, another map. Alright, that's not what I was thinking of, but okay. So if I head left from here... Oh. I can't go left from here. Why not? Okay, so I'll go down, then right, then up, and then right, and then down. Okay. Down, then right, then up. Okay. Oh, there's another map right there. Zach says, as for the Mulan game on Mega Drive, there are worse legitimate games than that. Yeah. Lion King on NES comes to mind. That was awful. It was like a port of the Game Boy version, but worse. Cut out half the game. Yeah, so I'm going right and then finding a lift down. No, I'm not playing... Like, first of all, playing actual adult content games could get me banned from Twitch, maybe? I don't know how that works. But also, ew, no. Like, the whole point of... I mean, I know you're kidding, obviously. It's the smiley face. But, yeah. Part of my whole idea of playing these games this year is to find more positive female role models in games, or not even just role models, but just characters, good characters, you know. And I don't know if that counts as a good character. I mean, you could make an argument for like Peppermint Patty in Leisure Suit Larry, whether that's a positive representation or not. I was just reading about that today. Oh no, Gibbon. I'm sorry about that. It's always annoying when packages don't arrive when you think they should. But yeah, he's ordered a repro of... Is it a repro or a copy of Getsufuma Den, which he nominated for the Game Club this month, and which I'm unfortunately been slacking on. I really should get to that. I sort of got to a point where I tried to get the new fan translation of it working, but it didn't run properly, and I sort of got discouraged by that and kind of gave up. But I'm going to go with the backup plan, which is playing an older fan translation. Alright, I'm not coming into this boss fight in very good shape. My health is very low, but we'll give it that best shot, and I believe... Yeah, I think if I die here, I might have to restart the level again. Why don't we find that out real quick? Kill me. Okay, good. Oh good, I start from the start of the boss room. Lovely. Checkpoints. Modern games. Oh, yikes. It was shipped from Canada, and forest fires have delayed mail in the region it's shipping through. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this isn't too difficult, as long as the guy keeps getting stuck in pits. Ah, done. Wonderful. Cool. Mission 4. So yeah, this is really interesting. They're using, you know, just assets that were in the game and the exact same engine, maybe, you know, with tweaks, to create an entirely new experience. Well, it's not entirely new, like I said. Part of the motivation for them making it was that they enjoyed the mechanics of the original Layla, and they just wanted to improve on them, that's all. But yeah, they've ended up with a really good and fun product at the end, so that's nice. Yes, I do mean that and Custer's Revenge, Zach. Things like that. They're not strong, well-written characters. They're very exploitative. And yeah, like I get what you're doing, but alright. This is obviously a bit more maze-like. We've got letters and numbers everywhere. I'm not really paying attention. We don't have a map on the wall this time. Yes. Hot take. Gibbon's copy of Getsufu then is a repro with the new translation applied. That's nice. I've yet to form an impression of the game myself. I haven't got to it yet, but I'm totally intending to play it. What is it? I mean, we're already halfway through the month almost. I feel bad. But the other thing is, like, Cody finished it in like one day, so that sort of made me feel like I could put it off a little bit longer. But I don't want to put it off for too long. Anyway, yeah, Getsufu then. That's cool. Another game on the NES. There was a time in my life when I completely wrote off the NES. I was like, no, it's not worth bothering with since the Super Nintendo exists. But I've been trying to give older games more of a chance. Cody's a monster. Help! Oh, okay. What do you want me to do, buddy? Couldn't do anything there. Oh, I'm back here? Ooh, I'm so lost. I wonder if there's a guide for this game online. It's you know, it's a hack that was made last year. Alright, I've been here. I see. S H C. Let's go this way. Run right into that. Oh, that's another one of these. Oops. Ow! You jerk. Okay, so nope, if I go, yes. I like these little puzzles, they're interesting. I don't think they really existed in the original, but like I said, it's using the mechanics and the what exists in the game to, yeah, make something new out of it. Nice. B1F. P. What do I do? B4F. Nope. Okay, so that was the wrong thing, because I don't want to go back there. So, keep going this way. Aren't save states grand and rewinding? Much love. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Okay, T, save state. Back at B4F, so not T. There must have been a clue earlier on that I just missed. Oh well. I'm gonna get some comments about that, possibly. Oh, H. Oh, I haven't been here. Okay. Yeah. I got a comment on, like, for some reason, the time I streamed Winnie the Pooh games is one of my more popular streams. Yeah, death. Like, it's gotten quite a few views. Okay, back here. So I'll rewind. I'll try and do this a little bit better. So did I lose any health? Yeah, why don't we go back to before this section? I'll be better. Yeah, so the Winnie the Pooh games stream was a fun stream, especially when I got to the third game that I was covering, which is a bit of a surprise and looked really nice and played well. I don't remember its name now. They're all the games are sort of variations on like Adventures in the 100 Acre Wood or something. But yeah, I got a comment saying like, it was really frustrating to watch this because you skimmed through the instructions and then like went straight and did the wrong thing. And I was like, guilty as charged. I did do that. I tried to sort of explain myself in a reply and saying like, oh, you know, it's difficult to talk and play and read at the same time. But yeah, I tried to be polite too. I appreciate any comments and response. Okay, what do I do here? See, that breaks and then I fall down. There's got to be something. Zach's asking me if I've heard of the Blackwell series. That does not ring a bell. He says he wound up with a few of them on Steam. Played a bit of the first one and it seemed neat but didn't stick with it. Seems like something I might enjoy for a stream. They're point-and-click adventures. Yeah, I've never played a point-and-click adventure on stream. It might be an interesting experience or it might be really frustrating to watch. It's not a genre that I've ever really been into either, so it might be interesting in that it'd be new to me in a lot of ways. So, I don't know, tell me more about the Blackwell series and I might consider it. There's certainly a lot of games in the genre with good women as leads, so that would work well. So something's wrong here. Maybe I need to jump up. What if I get... Nope. Okay. So if I destroy that, and then... Whoops. Because I seem to be getting stuck on a sort of invisible... Yeah, there's a wall there. It's definitely a wall. Maybe this is just a dead end. In which case I'll head back. Or try going up? No, have to go down. Back to the start. H is just what I went through, right? Gosh, this is confusing. Alright, L. I haven't been here, so we'll try it. This reminds me of Super Mario World, when you get to Bowser's Castle in the end. You pick the door to go through and then there's a little mini challenge after it. It's kind of like that, I guess. I. Now I've done I. Sure of it. T. Okay, so I've done T because that's where I lost so much health last time. I can get some back. Not if I do that. Alright. Reset. Get some health. Start from here. Or look up a guide. Cheating. Layla Iris missions guide. Yeah, I'm always looking for more games to stream, even though the list is kind of getting out of hand. Ooh, yeah, there's no guides for this. Shouldn't have expected it. Oh well. I'll keep playing. Let's see. Yes, okay, so H. Blackwell, says Zach, is about a freelance writer living in New York who finds out she's a spirit medium. Supernatural detective type stuff follows. Sounds interesting. So this is new. X. Or have I done this one? R. See, I think I haven't been through this floor before. Or was this the first one I did? B3F. Okay, I have to try some of these lifts, I think, because I remember getting to this double exclamation mark one before. What do you want me to do? Help? What? Oh, an interesting art style. LucasArts-esque sprite work, says Zach. Yeah, there's plenty of modern games that like to go back to that style, don't they? Yeah, like Monkey Island. I don't get what this room is supposed to be about. This takes me right back here. Well, I certainly haven't tried every lift, but keeping track of which ones I have tried is something that might be beyond my abilities. Okay. F. Don't think I've tried F. X. So I've done X, but I didn't go up the X elevator. S. I haven't done S. Breaking blocks with my head. Did Mario invent that? T. I think I've done T. Yeah. Wait, this isn't the same T. B2F. Okay. L. I've got to B1F before. How did I do that? I guess I'll try L, actually. Let's try L. P. Okay, I haven't done this. Oh wait, I think I have. But there were more enemies last time. Yeah, and then the collapsing thing. And T, yeah, I've certainly been on T and it took me back here. So what about going this way? No. Nah. Good. H, nah. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I have to spell a word with lift things. Maybe that's it. Alright, I'm starting from B4F again. What kind of word should I spell? Layla or Iris? Okay, my options for the first letter are H, E. I've got it. The guy was saying help, of course. I'm a genius. I'm not, but H. Okay, whew. We got there. Oh wait, E was right there. E. L. P. Wait a minute. Exit fast. Okay. Okay. Exit fast. Okay. Huh. Oh man. What a neat little puzzle. Okay. I feel both smart and dumb at the same time. Because I figured it out, but it also took me ages. Alright, exit fast. E. Let's find that X. There it is. This is a lot easier than I thought to actually do. Okay, find the I. Ow. By the way, you also get a higher jump by running and jumping. Not just by crouching. Seems to be the same height. L, no, I need I. Here it is. And then T. Beautiful. Ah, feels good to get out of that. Alright, what's your gimmick? Ouch. Your gimmick is hurting me. That's unusual. Oop. At least they give you warning. Oops. I like the range on this machine gun. Huh. Are they trapped in a pattern? No. Pattern height there is something that I don't know, says a lot on games like CX. When he figures out an exploit for the boss's behavior. Cool, this is going well. Now there were 8 missions in all, I believe. It said in the intro. So yeah, I like this game. Compared to Metroid, it's sort of a more campy, action-based take on a sci-fi shooter. More linear too. There's a couple on my list that are sort of in this vein. I think Baraduke could be considered similar to this. And what else? Quartet, although that's a situation of there being 4 playable characters, only one of whom is a woman. What's going on here? None of my weapons can pierce that block to destroy that thing. Maybe the axe. No, that one will work. What do I do here? Maybe there's a hidden teleporter. Nope. I don't get it. Don't tell me there's going to be a tricky puzzle in every level now. Ouch. Yeah, this is not the right weapon for this situation. It's not hurting these little globe spitters at all. Ah, but the flamethrower is. Excellent. Oops. Okay, here I am. It doesn't even destroy those little crawler dudes. obviously have to find a way onto the bottom path. Maybe? It does seem a little blocked. At least we can enjoy the music. It's not blocked because you can pass through those. This is kind of a roadblock. What have I learnt in this game so far? I've learnt that different weapons don't usually make much difference. Nothing can pass through blocks. I've had a grenade. Did I miss a grenade at some point in this game? Maybe there's a hidden grenade during this stage before I get up to this point. Let's try that out. Okay, so flamethrower effective against those. I haven't really seen any place where they could hide an area to get a new weapon. Those things are pretty creepy looking. Nothing can be fired downwards. Oh man, I'm pretty stumped. Let's see. Is this a good time to switch games, do you think? Or should I keep going? Gotta be something I'm overlooking. None of these blocks are destructible. Oh man. Well, since I hit a roadblock in Layla, I guess it's appropriate that I would get stuck in Iris as well. So let's go to the backup game. I mean, I prepared it for a reason, so I think we've seen a lot of this game's tricks. I've been pretty impressed by it, and I'm glad I played it. But yeah, let's switch over at this point. Because I just don't want to be standing in one room shooting a wall for ages, getting frustrated. That would be annoying. So here's the backup. Like I said, there's also an anime connection with this one, and I'll talk about it as we continue. But yeah, it's called The Wing of Madoola. This is not a fan translation or anything. This title screen was just like this. It's by Sunsoft, well known, of course, for Blaster Master. Yeah, they did that. I don't. What else did they do? Yeah, they're a big developer from this era. So yeah, this is Wing of Madoola, or Madoola no Tsubasa, as my wrong header is telling me apparently. My health is displayed at the top of the screen as a number. I don't know what the bottom one is, magic I think, so I don't know how to do that. Select. Oh, did I do that? Or was that just something that happened? Oh, these are even worse enemies. No, this is not something I did. So yeah, you can stun lock an enemy as long as you keep hitting them. Yeah, that's not good, the amount of damage I just took. Let's see. I didn't actually note down the name of this character. Let me check for 1 second. Yes, her name is Lucia. That's who I'm playing as. This is a world where, I don't know, it's your standard fantasy setting. Some bad guy has taken over or something, and Lucia is the last hope. So the Wing of Madoola in the title is an item you can get later that lets you fly. I'm never going to get that far. But you can see that Lucia's going to get a bunch of different items and weapons as we go on, maybe. Chat's being quiet. Yeah, I guess they're just quiet. That's okay. Yeah, these little guys, they remind me of the eggplant wizard from Kid Icarus, actually, but smaller. Yeah, so as long as you keep mashing the button, you can defeat an enemy because they will stay still. I've got a potion, but I can't switch away from my sword. Yeah, you can even freeze an enemy in midair above you, apparently. I tested this game for 30 seconds before starting it. But yeah, killing these doesn't seem to be doing much. Oh, I did get a potion, so that's something at least. Okay, ooh, I found something. Something on a hidden pedestal. Something that I do not know how to use or select. That's okay, it looked like a boot. Maybe I can jump high now. Maybe I can get over that barrier. Just stop. Armadillos aren't meant to jump that high. Okay. Yes, I can jump high. Oh, the movement pattern of these is incredible. Okay. Okay, another hidden area. A sword. But I already have a sword. Maybe my sword got better. Maybe it'll take less hits to kill these. It did! Nice. So yeah, I mentioned the reason I picked this is because it was also probably inspired by anime at the time. Nice backgrounds, by the way. In this case, wow, an egg with eyes? Yeah, so in this case there's an OVA that was sort of released to video, I guess. Don't know what that was either. In 1985, just like Dirty Pair. And it was called Reda, The Fantastic Adventure of Yoko. That was the localized name anyway, because they did bring it over to, I guess, America, probably. But yeah, the heroine in that story, whose name is, I I don't know if it's Letta or Yoko. I forget. Anyway, yeah, she had a distinctive look where she had this sort of armor bikini thing, and that look, and big shoulder pads too, and that look has gone on to inspire the look of various female fantasy game and anime protagonists. Another touchstone that I saw mentioned in that article on HG101 was Valis, which is a similar sort of side-scrolling action title. I've played on stream at the start of this year El Viento, which was by the same developer as Valis. It was a similar style of game. But yeah, okay, another boot. I can jump even higher now. Yeah, okay, I'm beginning to see how this game works. So sometimes these outfits on these ladies can get like really skimpy and kind of pervy, which is not nice. But Lucia doesn't seem to be too bad in this game. Yeah. Okay, so I died. Let's go back to before I died. Cheating. Oh, those purple blobs hit really hard. Oh, hello. I've been joined by Jaws. Good to see you, Jaws. First contribution is at Kappa Face, which I will acknowledge and move on. Ouch. Yeah, so the premise of the Layla OVA, I died. Yes, there's a secret continue screen. You hold select, hit start, and you can start from a different level. Yes, so the premise of Layla is that there's a girl who travels to a magical fantasy land, and then she has to beat the bad guy or whatever. There's this plot about how she was writing a love song for a boy, and that became a magic spell or something. So it doesn't, yeah, it's got a... I read that and I was like, oh, okay. It's a heteronormative message. It doesn't fit my Pride Month prerogative here, but oh well. Not that it's an obligation, but I would like to have some queer representation and stuff. It's just can be hard to come by in games. I saw the theme of the anime style inspirations, and I went for that. There's definitely that link with Layla, so woo. Anyway, yes. So yeah, the outfits, like you do get them. Yeah, you do get women characters in this era being overly sexualized, and every era really, you know, if we're honest. But I think Lucia here isn't too bad. There's illustrations of her on the cover art. She's wearing something pretty similar to what you see on her sprite there. Okay, so I think this is where everything went wrong. I don't know how I got here actually, but. If we can get back to that point with more health, then we'll see what we can do. So yeah, on the cover art she looks kind of like this, with her torso all covered up, and just like a short like bikini kind of thing at the bottom. But on the guidebook she looks a lot more like the protagonist of the OVA, in that it's just kind of a bikini with shoulder pads. So yeah, what's canon? You decide. But anyway. Blobs. Ouch, enemy. Yeah, they're just respawning, aren't they? Let's leg it. Okay, let's not leg it. How did I get to that cave? Why does Jaws have a crown next to their name? What does that mean exactly? I'm a Twitch noob, even though I've been here for ages. It means they're a Twitch Prime member. Oh yeah, that's like... Yeah, Twitch Prime, yeah. It's always bugging you about that. So what's the one where like someone subscribes to you? Is that a star? I don't know. I don't think I have. Do you have to enable subscribers? I don't have any, but I don't think you have to be like a financial partner or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Oh, you have a thing, you don't have a crown. I don't, yeah, whatever. Twitch is weird. We all know this. So yeah, I mentioned the backgrounds earlier. The sort of sunset one with the mountains was nice. The mountains here are nice too, but I don't know about those clouds. They look a bit fake. Yeah, they're weird. I don't like that. So we need to get past the blobs. Hopefully get to a point. Oh boy. Yep. Okay, now I can just run. Good. 360 health. Oh. Wait. I thought getting to that door got me through the last level. Oh well. I'll try going down a waterfall again then, I suppose. I got options. I got places to go. The knockback. It's fierce. Nice little animation on that sprite running. Not many frames, but it's fun. Oh boy. Okay. Ugh. These things, I gotta be able to get some kind of armor and take less damage. This is insane. Okay, if I'm here, we can try it again. Ugh, no, please no. Oh. Okay, that's a dead end. That's just a way to escape. Okay. Nope, that was wrong. I'll start back here. Ugh. This is frustrating. This is probably more frustrating than Layla. I should go back to Layla. Or maybe I'll just stop before I get too worked up. Wing of Madoola. There must be hidden items or something. Maybe I need to buy the guidebook. Second waterfall. Aha! Yeah, like, the sprites of the blobs overlap, but you only hit one of them at a time. That's how they overwhelm you. That's a real problem. And even though I found those potions earlier, I don't know how to use them, so I have no way of restoring health. I mean, I've got this menu. No buttons do anything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't... There must be other weapons you get at some point. And they just infinitely respawn, so what are you going to do? And that's the wrong one. I can go down the second waterfall. Okay, good. Some progress. And health restored. That's nice. Although I probably... I'll end up just going backwards. Okay, hang on. Oh, nuts. That is nuts. A scroll. That's new. What did it do? Am I running faster? Maybe? Do I get more maximum health? I don't know how to restore it, so... Yeah, this is relatively early action game. I guess it might be considered ambitious for its time. I'm finding it incredibly frustrating and difficult to play. And I know nothing about its protagonist, so there's really nothing to latch onto. Which is unfortunate. I like the design well enough. Ah, I saw what it did that time. It gave me more magic points. But as I still don't understand how to use them... doesn't help me much. So maybe I can skip that cave. That does give me a reprieve from the jellyfish. Ghosts, whatever they are. And oh, that puts me up here. But I cannot continue. At least the screen can scroll backwards in this game. Ah, okay, here's this area. Keep distance. Hooray! The magical globe. That's what lets me through the door. Ooh, we survived the boss fight. Wow. That was exciting. Great, stage 2 cleared. Good grief. Cave. New music. Same enemies. Ooh, a bat. This is a video game after all. What? You got me all tense. There's nothing in here. What's with that Jaws person? I don't have many people coming to my stream, so it seemed like any new person is an event, you know? And they just come in and drop one emoticon. I don't get it. Is this what happens on Twitch? This is just a Twitch thing. Came for the Layla possibly, but I wasn't even playing Layla. Oh boy. Big maze time. This is, I mean, I mentioned before that I give, like, old 80s games, 8-bit games, a rough time, but, yeah, they give me a hard time as well, I think. Just, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's enough for today. I think I've tired of this game, so that's fine. So, yeah, that was it. I played Layla, played Layla the Iris missions, and then a little bit of Wing of Madoola. Not Sunsoft's brightest hour, but it's, yeah, it has some interesting connections, I suppose. And yeah, I guess it's a stepping stone to other games in the future, probably. Whatever. Anyway, this has been tenuous connections to Pride Month and anime-inspired games from the 80s, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably play something a little newer next time, because that's 2 weeks of 80s in a row. So yeah, thanks for joining me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.